and welcome back to another day in the arena. It's me, it's CGB here on the official Magic the Gathering Arena YouTube channel, showcasing a deck from Pro Tour Outlaws of Thunder Junction. Golgari Midrange is a longtime staple of the Pro Tour and has been seen in a number of different formats, and this format will be no different, with a cool Golgari list showing up that actually uses a ton of powerful new cards. The one that stands out the most to me is Hostile Investigator. For 3 and a black, a 4/3 Ogre Rogue Detective, and when it enters the battlefield, target opponent discards a card. Whenever one or more players discard one or more cards, I investigate, and this ability triggers only once each turn. This is a huge value piece, almost a 3-for-1 piece of card advantage in one body, and that's very powerful to the extent that Shieldred the Apocalypse is not in this list. Unbelievable, but that's how good the Investigator is. That is backed up by some other sweet cards like Karvak the Punisher, which lets you cast cards from your graveyard when you commit a crime. Shoot the Sheriff is a removal spell. It's like a backup to Go for the Throat. It destroys target non-outlaw creature. And Caustic Bronco is another new card. This has shades of Dark Confidant, a card that has seen a lot of Pro Tour play. When Caustic Bronco attacks, you reveal your top card and lose life equal to its mana value. But if you saddle the Bronco at a cost of 3, similar to Crew, then the opponent loses that life instead. So it's a cheap creature that is a card advantage engine, but can potentially burn face, which is very unusual for Golgari to have access to such a tool. So with the amount of value and card advantage built into nearly every part of this deck, you never run out of things to do, but you will run your opponents out of things to do. I look forward to trying this deck out on Best of One ladder and seeing if we can make Mono Red and Boros suffer. So don't forget to watch the Pro Tour. If you're watching this weekend, it should be going on. Check out the Magic Twitch channel and watch some of that action, and I will see you over there in chat. Now let's dive in. Let the nonsense begin. Boom, boom. Deal with it. Love it. Hand is great. Horsies are in position. Drop a howdy to the opponent. Soured Springs, the crimes begin. Give me a target. I dare you. Just give me one target. That looks like a target. Vladimir Newblood, a legendary creature, vampire rogue, 2/2. Whenever you commit a blah 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 blah, dead. It doesn't matter what the text says. Let's Glissa or Preacher? I like Preacher. Glissa dies to the Virtue, which is commonly played in black and black-blue like controlly decks. But Go for the Throat, of course, does the job. The Investigator. It's here. Let's get that value, especially while they can't counter it or interact with it on the stack. They discard a Karvak. We have a clue. Ah, here we go. The Bloodletter of Aclazotz. Might be a Rush of Dread deck. Now here's the thing. I don't think the opponent's gonna block. I'm going to see if they just go for the Rush of Dread, and then I can shoot the Sheriff in response, because you are not an outlaw. You're not part of the team. If they spend their turn making me lose half my life, we'll still be in a very commanding position. There it is. If this resolves, we die, but I have a response. We go to 9. Scary, I know, but don't worry. I don't know that I don't want to overextend though. So let's use the Cottage, because they could have Deadly Cover-Up. Get that out of the graveyard. And I will draw. Who needs life? I've got 8, that's plenty. They're down to 5. Tiny Bones. Another Punisher. Whenever you commit a crime, see. There is a cut down there. So I think that means this play is an option. It might be a mistake, though. Giving the opponent a land can be very bad. But, cut down? No, I have to cast it now? I don't have the mana? Okay, learned something today. Don't mind me, just out here being an idiot. If they actually go for the throat and I set them up, it's gonna feel really bad. I had a plan. So what should I have done instead? I don't think there was any way to sequence that to get it, right? Because this had to be on the battlefield. The bat. 2 life, so they can't use the ability. Ooh, they have a bat. Pay 2. Do it. Pay it. Pay the life. So my mistake was bad. It wasn't that bad. On the play, sweet hand. The hands with this deck make me so happy. You remove something, you draw some cards, you play some creatures. Every card just seems to do everything. Come on, horsey. Into position. We have battle to commence. Look at those sleeves. Cottage. What you got? Forge. Let's get it cooking. This could be Boros. Boros Convoke, particularly. So you want to be attacking them early and often. There was some stick there as soon as we had a creature down. You saw that. Okay, Slick Shot Show Off. That's a very scary card. And it's not, in some way, not an outlaw, which is kind of bizarre. If I play the Liliana, I think they'll play the Show Off and kill it. If I hold up the Shoot the Sheriff, like, they might punch me for a lot next turn, but Liliana, I think, can clean it up. We should be aggressive. We should not hold back. I think too many players would sit back with this card, but a Boros deck is going to be ready to protect their Show Off. We need to have our creatures cooking, even if it means taking a huge hit. Slick Shot plus Monstrous Rage plus a double strike enabler like Twinferno is 16 damage from this position. But let's just hope that's not the case. All right, we got off easy. Only 4. They do have protection open if they have Lauren's Escape. And you can feel the stick. It's tempting to try to shoot the Sheriff. It's also tempting to play the bat. Let's go for that. We'll probably get the Lauren's Escape. Hopefully there aren't 2. In response, escape. That isn't gonna work. So powerful, but so fragile. Unlike the Rock. On the play, Dread Knight, Liliana. The deck just loves me. It keeps feeding me these hands that are so beautiful. This looks like a control deck. So against control, we can throw down the Dread Knight. If they exile it with a March, though, we lose basically any utility for a cut down, which is to protect our Dread Knight. So instead, I do this, draw the card, and we're gonna hope that they don't have No More Lies, or that they have a Field of Ruin and can't cast No More Lies. High Noon, 1 spell a turn, huh? It's an interesting conundrum. This is on that adventure, so we can cast it later. You know what the best card is against a control deck usually? Liliana. all these removal spells that are kind of useless against them, well, they're not useless anymore.
We all have things we'd rather forget.
We discard them to Liliana and trade them with their cards. Like that Sunfall. Cavern naming orc. Okay. What? Discard more stuff. I don't know what's going on, but
Tired of your secrets.
stop it. Two Sunfalls. If I do play the Dread Knight and they have an exile effect, they can remove it. The High Noon means I can't cast the Cut Down to protect it, but I still think we go for it. Field of Ruin is happening. If they want to kill my Field of Ruin, that's fine. All right, they have red mana now, and they have High Noon, which can deal 5 damage to any target, but it costs 5 mana to do it. They're a turn behind being able to kill Liliana with High Noon. Brotherhood's End, 3 damage to each creature and each planeswalker. That is fine. A little frustrating, but fine.
The wrong necromancer.
Looks like our spell this turn is going to be the Dread Knight. Unfortunately, now we can't cast something else. So they took out my Field of Ruin. Why did they do that? And why would they name Orc? I'm going to try to hide my Field of Ruin. I'll discard this Cut Down.
We all have things we'd rather forget.
The Cut Down line of, like, defend my Dread Knight isn't quite working, but maybe they'll use the High Noon to kill the Liliana. Okay, maybe they took the Field of Ruin to protect the anchorage that they've now discarded? Another one. Sure.
Isn't how things were supposed to go.
That's too bad. But they are down to just 2 cards, and one of them's a land. I think you can tell by that little stick there. But it's a land they don't want to play, so it's an Iganjo or a Boseiju. I guess against either one we want the Dread Knight. Oh, or Sokinzan. Didn't expect that. Combat. One spell. Let's make it this one. Grind them out. Grind them to dust. That's how the rock operates. I still want to know what the heck is the orc. 5 to my face. Burn plan unlocked? I'm scared. Oh my goodness, another one. All right, we have to pressure them more. I have a card that does that. Let's attack first. No stick on priority. It's gonna be hard to burn me out without resources. And Hostile Investigator is gonna take some of those resources. There goes the Wandering Emperor. Anchorage, we have a field. 1 card. Is it another Wandering Emperor? Like, what would it be? They have to defend their own life total. It's 12 to 12. That Restless Cottage might be huge. That's 7 points coming at you. They take it. No, not yet. Helix. Yeah, they were planning to burn me out. So if we wanted to use our only spell to go for the throat on our own investigator, we could prevent the life gain. I don't think that's worth it. I mean, saddling this Bronco could be really nasty, but we don't have much to do with the cards because of High Noon. Still, I think we put out the Dread Knights because we want to force them to use High Noon to remove something that comes back in the form of these Dread Knights. They got 2 turns. They're passing. Let's blow up the anchorage. I do like High Noon. It does a good job of slowing down the hyper-aggressive Slick Shot and Convoke decks of the format. Alright, see if we can put you to 1. They'll probably use High Noon in some way. I don't know what they could have to get this back, but they've tried to reinvent Snapcaster Mage a number of ways. Here's the Wandering Emperor.
You started this fight, but I'm going to end it.
The target is the cottage. Let's go for the throat the cottage so they don't gain life. Even as our 1 spell a turn, it's a good one. Because now they're facing lethal.
I'm never done with good. We must protect.
It's a 2/2. Cut it down. Our opponent is apparently 3 steps ahead. They make a token copy. They draw 2, but they didn't counter the spell. I still want to know why they named Orc on Cavern. I have questions. And then they scoop because they're going to get trampled over here. That's the game. We got a top 1,000 opponent in Jing, so it's an opportunity to move up. Well, is it an opportunity to move up when you're on the draw against mono red? 3 go for the throats. Let's see how many creatures they have. Codebreaker, yeah. I mean, I'm not going to have time to cast these removal spells. I need them to not play a creature at some point. That doesn't look like it's gonna happen. All right, let's keep removing stuff. Oh, that's a huge draw. That is an amazing top deck. Now we can double spell on this turn. Gosh, that is clutch. All right. Even if they get another creature down, Liliana can get the last one, and we'll see how many creatures they have. Care to use something? No? Demonic Ruckus, another Kamano. Okay, I think we gotta play this Preacher. We might take a hit for this, but we gotta start making those little lifelinking vampires. They're gonna carry this game. No, not that card. Okay, I can kill it. I can kill it. I mean, this is gonna hurt, but I think we'll recover. Oh, feels so bad. That's another good draw. Liliana, join me.
Those who get in my way.
Take
tend
out that show off.
Haven't you ever heard of personal space?
Give me my life linker. We're going to need every point we can get. Please don't have a monstrous rage. They didn't have it 2 turns ago, but they could have drawn it last turn or this turn. I think if they had a rage, we might have seen it though last turn. So it really is right off the top here. Okay, they topped a land. They should not have a monstrous rage. That's another show off. Wait for the action. Ancestral Anger. Crap. This gives trample. What does this do? So they're each going to be 3/2s and the opponent draws a card. Let's wait and see how they attack. Both face. Nothing at Liliana. Okay. No blocks. 3 health. Terrifying. Investigator. Can definitely knock out their hand, or it's go for the throat and Dread Knight. The Investigator play is so bold. More lifelink, please. It feels like it's go for the throat, but man, do I want it to be Investigator. Sorry, buddy. Getting them so low on resources feels like it could win the game, but I've been there before, and often they just top deck what they need. Whereas if they don't have a creature, it's going to be very tough. They have to have the perfect burn spells to win. They definitely could have that too. Just lightning strike, play with fire, GG. Let's taunt him a little. Is this it? Is it a lightning strike?
I really don't have
Not
time.
yet, it's not. But Liliana's going to die to all the Kumano faces Kakazans you've ever seen. All 4, actually. And then they did the Ruckus. Pass turn. We hold. The Punisher, not very useful. Let him have the block. What's important here is that we don't get killed in the air by the show-off and that we keep gaining life. Swifty. That's a big Swifty, but that's why we held. Put the Ruckus on that baby. No, they do not. They can tell I have the spell. All right, can we kill them? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Do I hold this? At 4, how are they going to kill me? Don't think they will. As long as I keep them out of the sky. Big draw. Big draw. Okay. We can wait for the big attack to really foil their plans. Four etchings of Kumano. And they just give up. Like I said in the intro, grind them to dust.